Thanks everybody for attending the conference, and I hope that you're fully awake and that you recovered from the party last night. I didn't, so please bear with me today. I'm Sana. I work for Epsilon. I've been in the consulting industry for about 12 years. Epsilon is a marketing agency, and I lead their strategy and insights team. So basically my role is to analyze our customers' data to develop smarter marketing plans. I work with clients like Dell, Google, large organizations, Jaguar Land Rover, and also clients in the luxury industry and retailers as well. And to simplify about Epsilon and about my role, it's really to help our clients find, acquire, and retain their customers. And my favorite movie is Magnolia, so I'm quite excited to be invited by Magnolia today. What we'll talk you through today, it's obviously to talk about customer centricity. I will take you through the life of the customer journey, what it means today, what's new. Then what it means for you, so how to build and create a real one-on-one customer experience. Does it even exist? We'll talk a bit about behavioral economics and why it's important in building customer centricity. The digital business roadmap that drives customer centricity and innovation. I will walk you through a success story, and we'll finish with the key learnings. And then I will hand it to Xinzhan. He will speak about WeChat in terms of a case study and the integration with Magnolia. Before we get started, I hope to get a lot of questions from you, and if we don't have enough time, please make sure to connect through Twitter or LinkedIn, and please tweet about the conference as well. So you can use the hashtag #mconference16 and Epsilon Connected, and we'll be happy to reply to your tweets. The customer journey, what's new? I will take you in, let's assume that we're the 9th of June in 2021. So we're in a movie theater, so I will use your imagination to think that we're in 2021. It's 6:45, and I have a sensor that helps me to wake up at the right time in my mattress. I don't need a partner anymore because I have a robot that gives me all the affection that I need. I go have breakfast. It's 8:25, and I order my grocery through Amazon. I just have to check what's missing, and I talk to this little robot, and it orders for me. It's 9. I go for a run, and you're probably wondering why I'm not going to work. And it's because a robot is actually replacing me at work. And 47% of the middle-class jobs could be replaced by robots in 2021. So I go for a run, and I have a sensor that sends my health and how fast I'm going, and sends that to my doctor. It's 12, and after my run, I need to relax, and I'm having a coffee, and I'm speaking with my personal assistant on my phone, and he can challenge my mood and question me. So if he thinks that I'm too stressed, then he can decide to order tickets for a concert, for example, for me, so that I can relax. And these things actually exist. There are companies out there that are actually building this. So I know we're imagining the future, but it actually exists out there. There's a robot called Pepper Robot in Japan, and it's actually a receptionist. So no risks to take sick leaves. The company can rely on it all the time. It's 1 o'clock and I'm a bit hungry, so I go order my food. But before that, I checked on Google what can I eat to make sure that it impacts my health in a positive way. 1 out of 20 inquiries on Google are related to health, and as you know, Google is able now to predict when there's a flu or any other illness, and they're definitely using this data to make predictions. 6 o'clock, decide to get back home. So I'm not in a Google car, so I'm driving my own car, but it's a connected car. So you might know already that in Europe, the regulations forces the automotive industry to connect their cars. So in 2015, there were already 250 million connected cars out there. And with Jaguar Land Rover, for example, we're working on what makes sense. Okay, you're forced by the laws and regulations to connect your car, but then how can you make it, for example, more safe for your customers? How can you make it more efficient, more targeted? We were talking about detecting the right temperature in the car, detecting the stress level as well. So potentially that could play your favorite music, that could tell you to reduce your speed. So these are the things that brands are currently working on as well. At 6:30, I received the groceries that I've ordered on Amazon through SuperValue. And at 8, it's time for a movie. And again, no need for friends or partner. I'm connected and they can watch the movie with me through another screen. So what's the impact on the consumer? And it's already happening now. We're overwhelmed by choices and there's a lot of brands out there and we take decisions very fast and we change our plans very fast as well as consumers. We are definitely looking for more personalization. There's almost an ego for personalization. We need everything to be targeted. So how can you adapt as a brand to make it relevant and personalized? So basically, for a while, we were adapting to, we were adding technology to the world, and today we're adapting in a technology world. So what it means for companies, what does that mean for you? Today, most companies can keep pace with their own evolution. You might have heard that in April, Sports Authority filled out for bankruptcy. And I know that they have invested a lot, but that's what companies do. They invest a lot in technology without knowing their customers. If you don't know your customers, then there's a big chance that your efforts in marketing budgets in technology are probably going to help you short term. But in the long run, how can it be sustainable for your business? So customer-centricity, what it means, a business optimized for its customers. And the key points to customer-centricity, it needs to come from the board level. It needs to come from the senior management. If you don't have that, then really it's not the marketing department or it's not the IT department that can drive customer-centricity. It needs to be a full commitment of the company to drive the vision. We need actionable customer insight. So it's looking at the data, decide which data I'm going to be using. We're talking a lot about big data, and I'm pretty sure that you're collecting a lot of data, but what makes sense for my business decisions? We need a customer plan. We need to make sure that all of the departments buy into this customer plan to set up priorities, to set up targeting plans. We need cultural changes as well, staff engagement, and processes and tools to implement the strategy and to use the right technology. A bit more about customer insights and segmentation. I work a lot with my clients to build the right customer segmentation, so the one that is relevant, that's going to help driving incremental results. And a customer segmentation is a way of grouping customers that have similar needs and for the brands and the retailers. The key success criteria for a customer segmentation, it needs to be strategic. It needs to be relevant. It needs to be identifiable. So you need to be able to recognize your customers. It needs to make sense for your business. And it needs to be actionable. Once you have understood your customers, you have built your segments, you need to be able to use that to achieve that one-on-one personalization. This is a bad example of customer segmentation. So Patrick is a friend of mine, and he was celebrating his 50th birthday this month. He was actually my my boss at some point in my career. And he has received a very, very nice mail to wish him a happy birthday, and that he could actually collect his birthday gift at Sephora. And he's a very loyal customer to Sephora. So this is funny, but actually you can imagine that this is happening all the time, and you can understand why then customers are switching from a brand to another. What's the point of having a loyalty program if you don't know me? Loyalty is supposed to reward your best customers, the ones that you know your brand. So what is true one-on-one customer experience? So yes, it requires a lot of budget, a lot of resources to achieve it, but small changes can make a big impact. And I do work with retailers on the data collection, what data makes sense, and how can I be using it in the right way. And I think that the e-receipt, for example, is a very, very clever invention because retailers now need to adapt to the digital world. And it's actually something that is very useful for the customers. You don't want to have a receipt anymore that you're going to lose. So if you want to return the products, it's actually very convenient for you. We live with our smartphones, so you know that it's there and you can actually exchange your tickets. There's a few ways to make it more relevant, and for brands and retailers, it's a way to collect the data, because if you give your email address at the cash register, you're going to pay attention to the information that you give, because you know that you're going to receive the receipt and you need it. Whereas if you just ask someone for the email address, it's likely that they're going to give you the wrong one, or they're not going to fill it the right way. Macy's use it and then sends a thank you message for the purchase right after. And DSW use the e-receipts to actually give more information. DSW is a shoes retailer, by the way, in the United States. And they use it to actually give more information around the loyalty program and the loyalty points. Virtue, I don't know if you've heard about that brand, but it's a mobile phone brand, very, very luxurious mobile phone brand. And they have a concierge service, and it's basically your personal assistant. You buy a Virtue phone, and your concierge can book a table at your favorite restaurant. So it's again how brands get to know you outside of just the product. It's really to understand your needs and at what time you need the service. Behavioral economics and why it matters. Beyond the data, beyond the customer segmentations, there is many things that might impact the customer choice. I can ask you, why aren't we eating healthier? Why don't we save more for retirement? And we know it's important. Why aren't people using our services? Why aren't they buying our products? I'm gonna give you a hint. It's not because they don't receive enough information. This is my email inbox, and I probably have 60,000 emails that I don't read every day. Not every day, but in my inbox. So we receive a lot of information, but what makes it relevant? Why would I open an email? Make sure that the information is relevant for me. Make sure that I'm gonna be saving time. How AT&T can make this an easier choice. And I'm pretty sure that when we look at mobiles or internet services, you've all faced this type of offering where you have to read through the lines to understand, and you just skip it, and then you go for the one that's going to make it easier for you. Insurance companies are facing the exact same thing, and I'm working with Protect Your Bubble in London to simplify these types of offering. Make sure that you provide a seamless experience. And Lorraine was referring my bad experience at hotels. I'm definitely the customer that travels a lot and that complains a lot about hotels, because when you travel a lot for business, you don't want to spend too much time checking in. You want the service right away. Starwood Hotels are making a great efforts in terms of rewarding their customers and facilitating the check-in through their mobile app. So it's a smart way to use the technology and to use the data to build that one-on-one customer centricity. And finally, Google AdWords. they're using social proof. So it's basically other people have approved the service. On average, 91% of advertisers believe the suggestions are relevant. They've added this to their email communications. And it's basically, you know that your peers approve the service. It's a social proof. So it's likely that you're going to buy the service as well. Just to give you a success roadmap for customer centricity, I think that one of the companies that has really achieved customer centricity through digitalization is Burberry. And I think that it's quite amazing for the luxury industry because they generally do not invest in technology. They do not want to know more about their customers because they think that they have that one-on-one experience in store. So they're very reluctant into using the data. It's changing, but it's changing very, very slow. And I think that Burberry got it. And I don't know if you've heard, but their CEO, the sales have fallen last year, and the CEO decided to cut his pay by 75%, showing the example, and really shows the commitment from the top. They've hired also someone from Apple 2 years ago, I think, or 3 years ago. So really showing that they hired the right skills that are not directly related to the luxury industry to make things happen. So basically, when we talk about digital transformation and customer centricity, we need to embrace innovation, and we need to embrace change. It's a different way of doing business. It's moving fast, so long-term plans don't work anymore. It's important to have a vision, it's important to have a strategy, but it's necessary to adapt very quickly. So you need to review your plan and challenge your plan with your teams quite frequently. The funding business model is broken as well. You need to think of what are the right KPIs, what am I measuring? So I'm not going to go through the entire details of that timeline, and I'd be happy to share it with you, but really it's to show you that it took a few years for Burberry to achieve where they are now. And they started in 2004, they launched their e-commerce site, and 3 years ago, I was talking to another luxury company, and I'm not going to name them. It's a very, very big one. And I was telling them, you need to go online. You need to build your e-commerce website. And they said to me, never. We would never do that. And they did it this year. And it's almost too late. So it started in 2004, and 2013 they opened their flagship store, and Xinzhan will tell you a bit around what's happening in Asia for Burberry, where they're extremely successful as well. So the key learnings, start with a problem. Do not start with your technology or your data. Start with a business problem. I know that I'm stating the obvious, but I can ensure you that when I meet my clients, it's not always the case. Usually the question I have is, how can I acquire more customers? So it's about the data. Or what is the right technology that I can invest in? And for me, it's not a business problem. What's your business problem? Get to know your customer, get out there and analyze your data and listen to them. Align, share internally, and give customer empowerment as well. The most successful brands, even in the banking and financial industry right now, we're seeing the customer empowerment. Citibank is very successful in the United States. And then test, test, and test. That's what I was referring to when I was talking about the long-term plan. You might have one, but then that might change. So test and learn is absolutely critical. And now I will hand it over to Xinzhan.
Hello, everybody. I'm Xinzhan from Singapore. So today I'm here to introduce WeChat. Just a show of hands, how many of you have used WeChat before, are exposed to WeChat before? 1, 2, quite a few. And I guess for myself, because I'm Asian, right? So most of my clients, when we go especially into the Asian market or the China market, that's the first question they'll ask you. Does this have WeChat integration, right? Okay, so what is WeChat, right? So WeChat is literally, it means Weixin. It means micro messaging. So it is a mobile It's a mobile and text voice messaging service developed since 2011. It's a very feature-rich platform, and over the years, which is a short 5 years if you think about it, they have grown from a messaging platform into a full-fledged service platform. Includes wallet, includes location, and the things which they can do with WeChat it blows the mind, right? It blows the mind. But first, some statistics compared to other messaging platforms. Okay, so for WeChat, at this point of time, okay, so they have something called an official account. Official accounts are specifically for companies, and it's a verified account whereby when you sign up for it, you have to submit all your papers, and it is a way where brand can use it to even share their messages with the masses. Okay, and 80% of their users follow official accounts. I mean, of course, if we compared it to Facebook and Line, basically, there of course the numbers varies across the board. And something interesting to note, right? As of 2015, which is about a year back, at least 20% of the users have their credit cards linked to WeChat wallet, which is quite a lot. And I'm sure it's much more now. Okay, so some statistics. WeChat users account for more than half a billion, right? Half a billion of users, and it's part of the account for 47% of the China's total population, and that you can see that over the years, right, the sheer amount of active users on WeChat will always be there, and that what can we do with WeChat? These are some things that probably you didn't know that you can do with WeChat. You can order water, you just sit at home, press a button, and water gets delivered to your house. And can you imagine, even laundry picked up? And this links up with what Karen from last evening mentioned. He said, location is a context, right? So when you click on the button, the context of that mobile device is transmitted to the users, and the payment is done as well, and the person will come to your house, pick it up, and you are definitely sure that this person will not get lost. You can check the status of your laundry. It's maybe in the dryers now, or it's being ironed now. So basically, you can even book a KTV session. You can configure a new car. I mean, if you think about it, from a simple messaging platform, all these are possible now. Okay, so what we did, right, at Epsilon is we just sat down and we did some blue sky thinking. What can we do with WeChat, especially with regards to the integration with Magnolia CMS. Okay, first, there's a few things listed here. Top of my mind, WeChat, Magnolia CMS. It's a CMS, right? We can use it to update the content inside the official account. Okay, so because it's hosted, you can even do targeting on it because you already know who is landing on it. Okay, and the other one will be instant messaging with your clients, and broadcast messaging, but that's an iffy one because there's a lot of limitations to curb the abuse, to prevent you from blasting out to other people. That you can even have purchase confirmation. Can you imagine when you buy something, and just like what Sana just mentioned, the receipt will be inside your WeChat, right? You can even plug it to a chatbot, which is possible, and payment, simple analytics, and basically CRMs, and online to offline tracking. Very interestingly, when I was preparing for these slides, I just casually mentioned to Sana that Burberry is killing it, with WeChat. Burberry, Dell on WeChat. Basically, what the users did, right, was through this channel, they just ask a question. Two things will happen. Either a keyword is being picked up and an automated response is returned, or someone will pick it up and reply to it. And for Burberry's case, someone did a test. So basically, you say that, okay, I'm in this town now. Is there any offers or what? Is there any offers, current offers? Within 24 hours, there's a reply back and say that, go to this address. There's certain offers and certain colors and certain based on your previous, maybe your previous purchases. You can even have the person might even come back with your favorite color. This product, maybe sorry, I'm not very fashion person. Maybe a couch or a clutch or something or scarf. You can even pre-book it if you think about it, right? So with the so I partnered up with the Magnolia Vietnamese team, and they came up with quite a few Magnolia apps. Okay, but before that, I need to clarify something. Okay, these apps, Magnolia apps, are working, but it's dependent on on my end because I'm still building the integration between Magnolia and the WeChat integrations. So these are all functional. It's just that the backend is empty now. Okay. So how did we came about with all this functionality? Is that we focus on the lowest hanging fruit. So whenever clients come to us and ask, we want WeChat integration, so we will ask them back which part of it, because there is the instant messaging part. There is a payment, there's a tracking, there's a basically it's so much, right? So basically, what we gathered was that they were looking for instant messaging part. So we are focusing on the lowest hanging fruit now. Okay, and that this would be the this is a screenshot of what the Magnolia Vietnam team have developed. It shows the list of WeChat messages which are sent from the user to us, to basically into the official channel, and they will be routed into the Magnolia CMS. And with that, you can actually do a reply. You can reply back. Okay, and basically you can do a true and full, and it will be a very good customer experience. Basically, right? It's a bit like a chatting call center. Okay, and this will be the broadcast message whereby you can target specific groups of users to receive targeted messages, like what Sana say. She's good at segmentation, and you can have specific messages for this maybe a high value group to have constant returns as well. Now, this part would be the managing of users who have subscribed to the official accounts. So basically, we can group them together and we can target each group with input from Sana's team as well. So at this point of time, I would like this will be my last slide, and I would like to give a special thanks, especially to the Magnolia folks in Vietnam, especially Eric, Sang, and Benjamin. Where's Benjamin? No, Benjamin Stack. And these are some references which I used, for this. Apologies, there are some very technical stuff inside, but probably the most interesting would be right at the bottom, which is basically the Internet Trends by KPCB. Yep, and that's it for me. Any questions?